Hi guys, this video is about some tips if you're in college or starting out on how to succeed better in college. Put some things down here. Let's see, how long has it been since I graduated? A few years now that I've graduated? I'm 25, so it's been a few years now, and I just compiled a list of the things that I did that helped me. This is not an exhaustive list, it's not a very specific list. Like, it's not meant to help if you have something more serious that you're dealing with. So don't say I didn't help you. Um, make like an Excel document or whatever computer program you use, and make a list of all your classes, and make a weekly list of to-dos, the things that you have to do, and divide your assignments up so that it fits 7 days. Be realistic. Don't put, like, if you have like a lab that you have to do or a quiz, don't put too many things on one day. Like, don't have it be Tuesday you have to do a paper and read 10 chapters all in that one Tuesday. Then Wednesday you have hardly anything. Try to balance out the days. And you can make some days heavier than others. If you have something else to do, you can make your to-do list on Friday lighter than the rest of the days, or Saturday or Sunday. Don't put everything in the middle of the week and then spend the beginning of the week and then spend the rest of the week doing nothing. Try to balance out all the things that you have to do. Um, and in that same Excel, you can make another sheet. Write down, look at your syllabuses for each class, and write down all the days that you're allowed to be absent. Teachers, some of them are specific and they tell you how many days you can miss before you fail, or before you have, whatever happens after you miss a certain amount of days. And some teachers have it mandatory, depending on the school rules. If the school says that it's 6 absences is failing, then some of them will go by the school. Other teachers may set their own rules for being absent. Make sure you write down all the days that you are allowed to miss so that you have an emergency or you're sick, anything like that. You can think of which days that you can get away with. So you're aware of what would happen if you missed. And if you have time, make take all the information from your syllabus and put it on your Excel sheet so that you don't have to pull your syllabus out and look at it. You can just pull the Excel sheet on your computer. What I mean by write down everything, I don't mean write down everything on your syllabus. I mean all the things that are due. Like if you have a paper due on the 3rd of January, and then you have a quiz on the 5th, and then you have a test on the 15th of January, write that all down for each class, and you can have it and see it. And it's in the same book. They call it, when you have multiple Excel spreadsheets, they call it book. So in one book, in an Excel document, in one book, you can have all your assignments due, you can have your weekly to-do list, and you can have all the days that you're allowed to miss without failing. So you can put all that in one spreadsheet. So you can have all that information for each class on hand. Schedule your classes or study in your most productive time. The times that you know yourself enough, you should know yourself enough to know what times you're most productive. If you're most productive in the morning, it seems like you have the most energy and do the most things in the morning. If you're a night owl and you have most of your energy at night, then do the most important things at night. It's a no-brainer. But you've probably heard that you should take book notes when you're reading a book, but I find when you're writing notes, if whatever your mind is speeding up the learning process, when you're trying to learn something, it depends on how much effort you put into learning something. So anything that expedites the learning process just helps you learn things better. So taking notes um, is a one way to expedite the learning process, to get information into your long-term memory faster. But also, um, when you write down notes, I don't do this when other people are around, so everybody looks at you like you're a weirdo. But if you're alone somewhere, talk to yourself about what you're reading out loud. Pretend that somebody was sitting in front of you, or you could clone yourself and tell yourself what you just read. Like if you read a passage on sleep apnea, for example, when you're done reading the passage, instead of just trying to memorize it and highlighting and writing down notes, try to tell yourself out loud what you think you read and what it means to you and how it affects you and how you analyze it and think about it. It'll help you learn faster. So that's another tip on trying to expedite when you have less time in college to memorize a whole lot of information. It's memorizing it is not gonna cut it. Because even if you remember it, you'll forget it a few weeks later. You have to get the knowledge into your long-term memory. So taking notes, being active learning when you're actually trying to expedite the process of learning. So it gets in your brain faster so that you can retain more information and you can remember it weeks later. And that's one of the things I find helps when you talk to yourself out loud about what you just learned or what you just read. If you're listening to something like a lecture, you can think about, what did I just hear? If you're reading something, what did I just read? And talk to yourself out loud or somebody else. If you have a roommate, you can say, can I try to teach you what I just read for an assignment I have? I just want to know if it makes sense if I say it out loud. And you can actually give them your book so they can look at it and see if you were on point with what you were trying to explain to them. So try that and let me know how it goes. Try to go to an unusual place that you've never gone to. Preferably a quiet place, a really quiet place, an abnormally quiet place, and see if it helps you study. Don't go to the library because everybody else is going. Some people actually learn better, apparently, when there's a little noise in the background. Some people don't fare well in complete silence. So being in a library may not be the best thing for you to do. It may be the best thing for somebody else, but it may not work well for you. So try to come out of if you're not sure what your preferred studying places, try a few different places. Go to somewhere else about once a week, and see and compare the results. Do you study better or worse? Stay the same, then you have choices. You have the luxury of having the choice of where to go. If it was better or worse, and then you can try to figure out where your preferred study is. Your body and your mind will tell you when you're in the right place. So just experiment. But don't go where everybody else is going just because they say you have to go there. Try to do what your mind and body need you to do and put yourself first and study where you feel that you study the best. It may not be somebody else's place. You may study best in a cafeteria. You may find that when you're sitting down eating at the cafe, you retain information better. You may find that when you're sitting in your room or like in the hall, or when maybe you're at the grocery store and just want to absentmindedly start studying, you go, I study better here. So try to experiment in a few places. Um, don't go don't go anywhere dangerous. Don't go to like a shooting range and try to study. Use your common sense. Go somewhere that's safe and that you know you're familiar with, so you're not around people you don't know. So someone doesn't like come up to you and bother you. But places you're familiar with, and just figure out which place is the most comfortable to study. Visit your teachers often. I know that's probably an obvious one that you've heard about. They don't mind. They really don't. Some of them, to my surprise, I found that some of them are thrilled when you visit them. It's like they know you're coming. It's like when you walk in there, they're like, I've been waiting for you, sort of thing. And they're just thrilled. I don't know why, but that's just what I know from experience. It's like they want to tell you to come themselves, but they want to wait for you to make the decision to come. So swallow your pride and just go to your teachers and ask for help. They will be thrilled. Um, oh, and tips on if you're living in a dorm and you have roommates. I wish I could help you guys more. And I know from experience, when you're in a place and it's really uncomfortable, there's not much you can do about it. But if you're, I can tell you about some things I wish I would have done in the beginning that maybe would have made a difference. I don't know, but you can try it and let me know if it helps you. But if you're right about the time where you're gonna change rooms or you're about to move in with someone, the first day that you have all your roommates around, let them know your boundaries. Um, you can say it in a friendly way, so they don't think that your first impression of you, they don't think you're mean, but let them know that you have boundaries. It's okay to set boundaries. It demands that they respect you in the long run. And if you don't have respect, as soon as they don't respect you, you're done. So make sure that your roommates respect you. And if you set boundaries, that's one of the ways you can tell them exactly what you don't like. You can say it. You can say, I don't like it when anyone touches my food. I don't care. If you want something, come and ask me. Don't ever go into my room. Don't ever touch my stuff. You don't have to say it. You can say it nicer than I'm saying it, but um you can just tell them I don't like it when people come in my room. I prefer it if you guys don't ever come in my room. If you need something, ask me and I'll give it to you. If I'm not there, don't ever go in my room. Don't eat any of my food. Don't be afraid to tell them so they know. And at least then they know. And even if they um, go ahead and do whatever they want and disrespect you anyway, at least you know that you told them so that you won't be to blame. They can't tell you, oh, but you never told me. You can't get mad if I didn't know. So at least you can say, yes, I did tell you, and now there are consequences because I told you not to do it, and you did exactly what I told you I didn't want you to do. So don't be afraid to set boundaries. Um, and don't assume that people know this. Some people don't understand that. They don't know how to respect other people and their stuff. They weren't taught or whatever. If you have a good firm grasp on how to respect other people, then you need to tell them. Don't assume that people know how to treat you. Don't be surprised if someone does something that you don't like, thinking, I thought they knew I didn't like that. So tell them I don't like it when anyone comes in my room at all, ever. So they won't do it. And if it doesn't work, then at least you can say, I told you not to. But it's hard to be mad at someone for something they didn't know. Like, don't assume they know. We're all from different backgrounds. So don't assume that people know how to treat you, even if it's wrong. Some people don't know that. So if they do something to aggravate you, they'll always say, well, I didn't know that you were going to get mad. I didn't know that you didn't like it. And some of them will actually tell you, if I would have known, I wouldn't have done it. So it's really your fault. So to avoid all of that, just go ahead and lay down your boundaries, not the house rules. Don't say nobody's allowed to open the door past 3 a.m. This is rules that you personally need people to know about. Your own boundaries, not everybody else's, yours. So it's stuff that affects you. Your room, your stuff, your food, anything that affects you, not the whole entire house or apartment. So try that and see if that works, if that helps you. If you have some tips on how you, I'm not in college anymore, but we always have to deal with roommates. Even if you graduate from college, you probably have to live with some people. So I could always learn some new tips on how to deal with difficult roommates. So people don't want to respect you, that sort of stuff. So if you start off by setting boundaries, it's a good way to earn their respect that you need from them. And they help when they cross the line. And maybe some of them know what the boundaries are. Some people don't care, I don't know. But you never know, maybe you'll meet somebody who actually cared if they knew what to do. I had a roommate once that said, well, I know what your boundaries are because you made them clear. And she told me, I do remember. I didn't forget. And she said, I would never do this kind of stuff to you because I know you don't like it. And if I would have never made that clear, who knows? Granted, some people still push your buttons anyway, but there are some that will say, I get it. Don't do anything. I won't do that stuff. I know you don't like it. I respect you because you told me. And we'll get along because I have things I don't want you to do, and you have things you don't want me to do. And so you just sort of compromise and meet in the middle. And that's the mature thing to do in the long run anyway. So I think that's all I have. So hope that, I know I said a lot, hope that with college and also if you live on campus and you have off campus, on or off campus, and you have roommates, there's some tips to help if you have roommate issues. It's best to lay down your boundaries right when you move in, not like halfway through the semester when they've already, but also some tips on how to do well with classes and school and stuff. So thank you for watching. And if you have any tips on I don't go to college anymore, but if you have any tips that you yourself found helpful or you tried any of the tips or stuff you've heard about, let me know. Thumbs up if you like this video, and I can make more videos on tips for things I learned while going to high school and college. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Bye. I'm so angry. Maybe I shouldn't do it when I'm mad. What's wrong? What's wrong? Stuff is too like specific. You can't say I should blog about it. I can't say things like this without whole. You can't just tell them things that they can find in a video. I'm mad. Keep going.
Than to ask what's wrong. It's safer to keep walking by than to get involved. True, we sometimes do get to know the people we share our steps with. End up lifelong friends. But mostly, we keep our distance. Rather our neighbors know about us. And know too much.
Does it look like something I can afford to think about? Cheap. Everything else I don't care. Like if I have wrinkles or acne, I don't care, but it might. It just bothers me.
Presented by
I don't
Amazon
know.
Fire TV.
Well, I'd be vain about that. I wish someone was vain about your teeth.
The
So I can walk
simplest way
around
to
with.
stream all the entertainment you love on your big screen.
It doesn't bother me. I'm like, I do something about it.
200,000 movies
It's
and TV
crazy.
episodes
I
from
used to
Netflix,
brush on my
Amazon
walk.
Instant Video, Hulu Plus, and more. And Amazon Prime members can
Right.
access thousands of titles at no extra cost.
Stop doing that with my mom.
Introducing Amazon Fire TV Sync, the newest member of the Amazon Fire TV family, starting at only $39.
Previously on Desperate Housewives, Danielle came back home. Annette,
Anything, but I spend like a bunch of money on it. I won't.
Catherine's past,
We know all about Chicago.
But
back to
I couldn't be
home.
bothered to fix this song.
Edie made threats.
The IRS could handle a rainy day fund. They could make me testify against them.
Except me, I'll get upset. It's just like,
Was taken.
I want us to be together too, but I also want to feel good about it.
And Gabby and Carlos ended their affair. Too late.
You make it kids.
As a little girl, Edie Britt was afraid of many things. And all the little boys in her neighborhood knew this. So they would wait for her with rubber snakes, and croaking frogs, and plastic spiders, hoping to make Edie scream. But once she was a big girl, Edie Britt was afraid of only one thing. That her lover might leave her for someone else. And Carlos Solis knew this, so when he decided to go, he tried to do it quickly. What the hell is this?
hi.
Mostly to avoid her screaming.
Just hasn't been working for a long, long time.
That's a lie!
God, it's not our.
I bet you did. Given all I know about the finances.
That's true. My secrets. But I'm betting you still care enough about me to keep them.
All right. On one condition. You have to tell me the truth about my
Truth.
Yes, Edie Britt had been forced to face her
Mama.
worst fear, and she
Which of the neighbors should we invite first? It doesn't matter. They all hate us. Hey, that's not true. They hate you. I'm the butch one. They can feel comfortable. Keep telling us. Let's start with Bree. She's got a gay son. I bet she's hella friendly. Why? My mother has one and she's not.
Hi.
No,
Hello.
We're just dropping by to let you know.